It was a normal, sunny, warm, beautiful Saturday. My brother, who was 14 at the time, and I was 13, were sitting together watching the movie Zombieland in our family room. It wasn't an awful movie, but it certainly wasn't the best. Then suddenly, my mother came walking into the room, followed by my father, and they paused our movie. They both sat down, and my mother said, "Boys, we both have something we need to tell you." I thought right then and there that something had happened to a family member or someone had passed away. I began to get emotional. But then they delivered different news. News which could not even compare to losing a family member, but quite close. As if something had been broken. Something that went beyond the point of no return, where it could not be fixed by anyone. My parents used the classic phrases like, "It's not your guy's fault," "It's your mother and I," or "It's your father and I," or "It just can't work between the two of us anymore." The simple phrases which explain what they both did not have the intentions to share outside of what was privately decided between them. I couldn't hold it any longer. Before the silence of my brother and I could continue, I stormed out of the room and into our backyard. I had to collect my thoughts, as I apparently was the only person who did not see it coming. Or, at least, my brother likes to say he always saw it coming when I ask him now. My brother and I were always close in age, but never in friendship. We got to a boiling point that summer after our parents decided to get divorced, where we fought a lot and argued about almost everything. Often the result was him yelling and me shutting up. Finally, when he was a senior in high school and I was a junior, we had a conversation where I asked him why he always avoided coming home, spent all his nights getting high with his friends, who by senior year had all been kicked out of his school for behavior or drugs anyways, and why he chose to always indulge in underage drinking. His answer was stagnant, but gave some allusion to his reasoning. He did not attempt to blame everything on our parents, but he tried to create a learning lesson out of it. He gave his explanation as, "Mom and Dad did everything they could, but nothing was good enough for them to want to stay together. I don't do the things I do in spite of them." This really resonated with me, and it gave me a perspective of how my brother thinks. Because through it all, we became really close. Now, I am 21 years old, and my brother is 22, and my mom and dad are still split and living their own lives. My dad has met somebody and moved out of California to a place where he is much happier. My mother is still living in California, and she is working, and she loves her work. My brother has moved away as well, and he is finally growing up. It would seem my family is doing better despite all the issues which had developed when we were younger. Through my experience, I have seen that the divorce culture isn't necessarily a lost, unwanted, or even drug-influenced culture. The young kids who are forced into this cultural group of people who become closer than their own families do not choose this life. This life was forced upon them, and they have accepted it the best way they can. Not all survive, but those who do are strong, passionate about what they do, and energetic because they know what it takes to create true happiness. Even more, they understand what it means to have it all stripped from them and put into a place where you feel alone for a short time until you are lifted by a group of people who do understand what you're going through. The transformation is from a place where loss is something never really having been experienced to a loss of stability, which leads to the finding of a new ground from which to rise out of the ashes and rebuild something much greater